begins to fade now, and I feel like I'm losing time, but I don't know how I'm here. The sunlight has turned to gray, and I feel like I'm losing love again. I don't know how I'm here. I could feel your heartbeat. I could feel somewhere you're looking down. I could feel your heartbeat. I could feel somewhere you're looking down. 'Cause it's you I'm loving, and it's you that I wanna breathe. And it's you I'm loving, and it's you that I wanna need. And I know now we're getting older. The world we built is slipping through our fingers. We're running out of time. But you are the one I've chosen, and I won't lay still, living left behind, imprisoned by this love. I could feel your heartbeat. I could feel somewhere you're looking down. I could feel your heartbeat. I could feel somewhere you're looking down. 'Cause it's you I'm loving, and it's you that I wanna breathe. And it's you I'm loving, and it's you that I wanna need. And it's you that I wanna need.
Hello, DOTA2 fans, and welcome! This is Chicago Ted bringing you CEVO, Season 6, Week
Radiant's
1-2, Day 1. God, that's a mouthful. Today's game, to start off, will be between Boreal Esports and Guess, and I am joined today by Statick. How you doing, man?
Pretty good, and you?
I'm not too bad myself. So, of course, I imagine you've seen these guys play. You've seen both teams play. So,
10
any
seconds to
initial
go.
thoughts that you've got going into this game?
Just
5
hold on a
seconds.
second. I'm gonna mute the co-caster in game so I don't hear you twice, because it's pretty annoying. All right.
Reserve time.
Yeah. So I haven't seen Guest team playing too much, but of course Boreal, I've seen them a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to
Radiant's
expect, but I would say that Boreal is probably gonna go for a Troll Warlord.
You're calling the Troll Warlord already. Wow. You got
Yeah,
these
man.
best of one games, so definitely some sort of cheese strat that they like to run.
No, it's more like a regular strat for them. KVH plays a lot of that hero, and he's doing really well with it. So
Ah.
most of the team don't expect that pick, and they don't know how to play against it. So it works pretty fine.
Yeah, and they're going to go ahead and ban out the Brewmaster and the
Radiant's pick.
Lycanthrope as I bring the players or the viewers on into the
Dire's
drafting
pick.
screen right here. And it's going to be an Ogre and Elder Titan being banned out by Guess with a Tidehunter first pick from Boreal. And, you know, if I could take a snapshot of this screen, I'm pretty sure I'd see it over and over again, as these are very, very common starting first picks and bans.
Yeah, for this patch, the Brewmaster is like really standard ban because he's like so strong in team fights, and most of the game rely on them. So
10 seconds
you
to
don't
go.
want to let that to the other team.
Yeah.
Something cool about the
5
Tidehunter
seconds.
pick is that they might not run it offlane, because sometimes they run it support, and like you don't expect
Reserve
that, so
time.
they like
Yeah.
will usually maybe last pick an offlaner.
So
They
running
can-
the Tidehunter as a support, that does have a couple of downsides though, and to most notably the fact that it doesn't have a really good stun in lane, but the minus armor and
Dire's
minus
pick.
attack damage is pretty good. So I mean, Tidehunter can work as a support. Vengeful Spirit will be picked up first by Guess though, so definitely some easy first picks. I imagine Jakiro might make his way into the field early on as well.
Yeah, that's possible. It sucks though to pick your two supports as the two first pick, because then like you're pretty much locked up with your strategy. So
10 seconds
I don't
to
know what
go.
they're gonna go for. Maybe a minus armor
5
strat.
seconds.
Yeah, that is possible, and you know, a couple of heroes do come to mind when that is
Reserve time.
decided. But they're going to start out with the Faceless Void.
Radiant's
So
pick.
right off the bat, do you think this is going to be a one or an off lane Faceless Void?
Since they picked it so early, I would say it's an offlane, because there's not much you can pick to counter faces offlane. If you know it's a one, you can go more greedy, like pick a jungle support or something like that. So if they pick it that early, I would say it's an offlane void.
Yeah, and the Venge is going to allow them to get a couple swaps off,
Radiant's
maybe
banned.
set up a better Chronosphere. But ultimately, the Venge is going to allow them to get a little bit of
Dire's
extra
banned.
vision. And she's an all-around really good support, so we'll be seeing a lot of rotations from her, hopefully. As Guests finish up their second pick, Boreal will go ahead and grab the Sky Wrath Mage to start off, or assist the Tidehunter in the supporting
10
cast,
seconds to
whichever they
go.
decide to go for, as we see an Ember Spirit get taken out first. So the Tidehunter
5
Sky Wrath
seconds.
gets picked up, and obviously the first thing that comes to mind is Ravage into Mystic Flare. It's a really potent combo, and
Reserve time.
of course will deal a ton of damage and allows them to go a little bit more greedy with their carry, as it will
Radiant's
give them
banned.
some extra opportunity to get some early kills off.
Yeah, it's also good with against the faceless void. Whenever he chronos someone, if Skyrat's not in the chrono, he can just put Mystic Flare on top of him and he can't kill him. So maybe Void
10
is gonna have to
seconds to
rush a
go.
BKB or something like that.
Yeah, definitely. And the
5
chrono
seconds.
will end up being a bit hard to get off now. I mean, it's easy to jump in and cast,
Reserve time.
but they've already got a natural silence on their team, and you
They
know,
got Ravage too, so one
Yeah,
of
and
those two
Ravage.
heroes are outside the chrono and it's done. Like, you
well,
don't
even
kill
before
anyone.
the chrono, if they time it correctly with the ancient seal, it could be a little be a
Mhm.
little difficult to deal with. And it brings to mind something like how Silencer used to get picked up for that exact reason, is you see the Faceless Void come in, you instantly silence, And he can't really do anything until he gets that BKB, and even after, if he gets the BKB, if you wait for the BKB or if you know the BKB is coming off, then you can time your silence around that. But I don't think we're gonna be seeing a silencer get picked up in this game. It's possible, maybe on the side of Guess, as picking it against the Tide Skywrath might be beneficial, but we're going off with a couple more bans. As Boreal, they do take out the popular Jakiro, and Guess they're going to go ahead and get rid of the Terrorblade. So I guess Terrorblade seemed like he could have fit around with the Boreal draft, but the Omni-Knight, that is a pretty obvious ban out coming out from Guess to make sure that the Faceless Void doesn't get countered by that, and the Death Prophet will be the first pickup after that. And Death Prophet, I'm actually surprised she's made it this far.
Yeah, that Prophet is not like first year anymore. I think all the changes they made through the last patches made her like not an overpowered hero. He's still a very strong hero, but I think there's a lot more answers to that hero now. That like Tidehunter Skywrath is actually good against that Prophet because you can like catch her and kill her really fast, which is what you want to do with that hero. So. Yeah. But the Faceless Void Chrono should be able to protect her pretty fine, so I guess it's a pretty good synergy with those two heroes.
Yeah, and it's going to come down to Guess just getting a ton of vision off the map, because if they can keep their Death Prophet free from that having to worry about that, then yeah, Chronosphere into an Exorcism is going to be insanely hard to deal with. Now, Boreal, they're going to pick themselves up an Earthshaker, adding on to this very ultimate dependent team. Of course, Earthshaker does do very well before his ultimate, but the Echo Slam will have a huge impact in this game if they can get it off. Now, Guess their lineup isn't one that you would expect to group up and give those perfect Echo Slams, but they do happen. They sometimes happen when you're least expecting, and a Ravage into an Echo is certainly not something that you want to get caught in.
Yeah, it's two spells that can kill an entire team in like 5 seconds, so you really can't give that opportunity. So if you want to push, maybe you go for split push since you got a Faceless Void. If you just want a 5-man, it's not gonna hand well, I think, against those two heroes. But then again, they're like very dependent on if Guess team get BKBs, they're gonna be in a very good position to push because that's 3 heroes that does nothing against BKB.
Yeah, that's actually an interesting point that you bring up, and it brings me to another hero that may or may not work with Guest's draft. What do you think of something like a Razor as their one position?
Razor would be fine.
Because what I'm thinking is, Guess, if you're going to go with some BKB carriers, you might as well go with ones that can bring down towers.
Yeah, I guess Razor would be a great pick for them. I don't see Venomancer. Is that a Venomid or Veno support?
I can't put my finger on it. Like,
it's probably a Veno support because there's a DP, but
yeah, I've seen Veno get played more as a core than I have support nowadays. But there's always something on the table when you bring a Venomancer into the game, and that's going to be a lot of damage over time they're going to have to deal with. Phantom Assassin will get blown up by that. Just the Poison Nova and the Venomous Gale alone will chew through her low HP pool really quickly. So they're going to have to be really careful of that. And speaking of the Phantom Assassin, what do you think of this pickup? I don't see much on Guess that really worries about her other than maybe the Faceless Void.
I think the Phantom Assassin is just to kill the Dead Prophet really fast. He's also good against Faceless Void because he can dodge the hits in the Chrono now with the new patch, which is like really nice. He can also those two supports are kind of weak, so if he jumps on one of them, he can easily kill him before he has time to do anything, especially if he gets a BKB.
Yeah, it's going to come down to those BKB timings on both teams, I imagine, as there's going to be a lot of factors that are influenced by the magical damage and spell usage of both teams. Neither one really picking up a spell-independent team, and both relying on some pretty heavy team fight. Guess could probably split push, as you said, a bit better, actually a lot better than Boreal can. I think Boreal focuses a lot more on team fighting, but it's not to say that Boreal can't split push. The Phantom Assassin has proven to be a really good contender for that, and we'll have to see how they run this as Ancient Apparition gets the final ban. Shows that Boreal think another support's going to get picked, but instead they go with the Enigma. So picking up another huge ultimate for themselves. This one, not just ignoring BKB.
I'm actually confused about Guess lanes right now. I'm not sure who's going to lane where. They could do pretty much anything with those heroes.
Yeah. If I were to put my finger on it, I'd say it would be a. I don't want to say an offensive Void and Venge because that might not work out, but Venomancer is definitely going to be a core of this game with Enigma in the jungle. A Templar Assassin comes out from Boreal, so some minus armor, extra minus armor from the meld, and just some straight up auto attacks, giving them a little extra oomph to work with. Not too great versus the Faceless Void, but not the worst either. If they can get some snowballing advantage off of this team, I could see Boreal easily taking this one in sub 30 minutes time.
Yeah, I think Boreal has really good ways to deal with that Prophet. They can like kill her in 1 second with all those burst heroes. But the thing is that they all have low range. Like TA and PA has to go in melee with DP, and they're gonna get black hole. So I think Enigma just stays behind the Dead Prophet and Protector, and like she's gonna have a great time with Chronosphere too.
All right, so we're out of the draft and into the game. Both teams getting themselves ready, poised, and positioned for this matchup. Again, it's Guess versus Boreal Esports for CEVO Season 6, Week 1-2, Day 1. Of course, it's a bit of a combination, actually, between Week 1-1 and 1-2, but for simplicity's sake, we're leaving it as it stands. And JW, he's actually in the off lane right now. Is this going to be an off-laning Enigma? Is he going to make his way back towards the jungle? I know he's here just to get some ward blocking camps.
I would say like he's probably gonna stay there because he has boots. So I don't know if that's a standard. I'm not a pro with Enigma, but he bought boots first, so he's probably gonna be in some place dangerous.
Yeah, this is a very, I guess, a very different kind of draft coming out from Guess. Faceless Void is hanging around. I don't know, a Faceless Void Enigma lane, that just seems kind of weird. I think I don't
Maybe
know
they're
what to
not
think about
expecting the aggro trialing because it seems like Tidehunter's a core right now. He's like a farming Tidehunter on the offlane, and supports, are they staying top? Are they going bottom? Not sure.
We'll have to see as...
Oh, was
they
this
go
Vengeful
golf.
dead?
I don't know. This isn't a haste rune on Footsay, so he's going to have to chase, but that final Arcane Bolt, not quite enough to bring him down. He'll walk away, but he's definitely going to have to make his way back to base. I don't think he wants to use any more regen than he already has, and that gives a little bit of early laning advantage to the way of Boreal, but still, anything can happen, and we're seeing the lane start to come out. This is going to be a farming, pseudo-farming Venomancer, and Enigma makes his way back towards the jungle, so I guess more standard than we thought it would be, but still pretty crazy.
Yeah, they did rotate around and end up in a more regular positions. This Tidehunter is ready for war. He has 12 tangos in the salve. He really wants to just stay in the lane and get levels, I guess.
Yeah, that's a crazy amount. What's that? 3 stacks of tangos. And, I mean, he needs it to deal with all of this damage that's going to be coming out from Demon. It's already a hard matchup going melee versus ranged, but now it's melee versus ranged with the damage over time. Looking at bottom lane, Snaking, trying to find a kill, but ending up putting himself in a pretty difficult position. He will grab the kill, and Footsay goes down.
That's the first blood on the offlane Void. You don't want to give that to the other team, especially when you're safe lane.
And I guess the difficult thing that they had to deal with was KVH is pulling right now, so really Footsay just put himself in a pretty precarious spot, letting himself get bashed. Well, you don't let yourself get bashed, but a couple of lucky bashes from Snaking, and Footsay was just out of it. 470, though, might see a similar fate as there's a magic missile coming out, and one more kill going the way of Guess, putting it at 2-0 at 2 minutes. So already a really good start coming out for Team Guess, and Boreal, well, they have dropped 2 unnecessary kills.
Yeah, I didn't see the Tidehunter dead. I guess he just got killed and stunned by a magic missile.
Yeah, that's exactly.
There's an ace rune on Vengeful. Is he gonna get a kill out of that? I think he's heading top for the Tidehunter.
He's making his way. Tida is full HP again, made his way back to the lane. I think this is only just some harass, as he doesn't want to lose his clarity, and 470, yeah, he's just going to have to get right back to the tier 1 tower. Not much he can do with that. He knows that Venge has haste right now, so he can't get over-aggressive, but he's still really tanky. I'm actually surprised he's died already, because I don't see him taking a lot of damage, especially just from the Venge alone, so we'll have
Maybe
to
he
watch
got
that.
cocky and he let Venomancer use Poison Sting too much on him, and he hasn't time to regen. So I guess that's the only way he can die. Because
yeah, no, exactly. All that extra regen, but getting a little bit too far forward, you can't exactly regen yourself through that. So Snaking is being really aggressive here on this bottom lane, and he's finding jungle creeps on top of just sitting. He dove pretty much under the tier 1 tower to get a couple of auto attacks in the footsay and back himself off. So they are not well equipped to deal with this void, and instead they're just going to smoke themselves up, looking to try to get themselves on the board with a kill in the mid lane. Yawar is down about half HP, but is bottling up, and they're going to go right past and make their way up. Are they going for the roundabout?
oh, they're gonna get seen by the sword. Oh, they need to go right now.
They got it. Concussive shot flies out. They're looking for the Fisher block, and they get it. One Crypt Swarm to fly, but it's not going to be enough to secure anything, as Dota's awful will grab himself the first kill for Boreal Esports, and what a high priority kill, as that is going to be on the enemy mid.
Yeah, giving an early kill to Templar Assassin is such a great thing. She can just snowball out of it, especially against a hero like that Prophet. She can just like trap her when she's level 6 and just tower dive, because she has nothing to protect herself.
Speaking of towers, we have a big push coming out. JW Demon and Almost Is Never Enough. A ton of units up here, some good damage. No points in Vengeance Aura just yet, so they don't get that extra boost, but it doesn't really matter because this tower is dropping relatively fast for 4-minute tower. And I don't know, I think they're going to preserve it for one more wave, but it will still go down fairly soon.
Yeah, it's gonna go down no matter what. If they want to protect it, they need to rotate the Earthshaker top and help to defend. But with all those Venomancer wards, I don't think they can do anything.
That's actually surprising. They've been able to get so many up. And yeah, the tower's just going to drop. I guess not one more wave. Veno really wants it, and he'll get it. 4.5-minute tower going down. One of the earlier ones that we've seen in this sort of meta right now. And that refreshes their glyph, but I don't know if that's exactly the victory they want out of that exchange.
The Enigma TP'd bottom for I'm not sure which reason, but I think he's heading mid right now to help that Prophet. Maybe he's just gonna go back to jungle, but
yeah, I think the jungle's the option.
He just gave mana boots to the mid.
He's 24-2 at level 5, so he's doing fairly well for a jungle Enigma that just early ganked the tower, but he needs to grab his farm, get some early items up like an Enigma should be doing, and just try to find as much farm out of this map as humanly possible so that he has a huge impact in this game, because although Snake King got a kill, he's still sitting at 24 last hits, so not terrible, but I
think it's pretty impressive actually, because he has the same CS as the PA almost.
Oh,
he's in the offlane.
Wow, actually you're exactly right. Take a look up top, and that is closer than I initially thought it would be. So 470, gonna just barely go down here in the top lane. He was trying to TP himself away, but not quite enough. Footsay did not have enough mana to preserve his life. Dota's awful. Sitting, skirmishing with JW, but there's a lot of heroes coming out to try to help. A meld strike, though, or a meld at least, and they have no detection to spot him. They popped an ultimate exorcism for that one.
That's very unfortunate for them, because they just wasted so much time in an ultimate. At least he's going to get some damage on mid with that.
Yeah, at least, but it's only going to be about half duration, much less than half duration. It's going to go down before he can get anything incredibly significant, and that's down for another 110 seconds now, so some unfortunate spell usage coming out there, and Dota's Awful will back himself up alive, sitting on Phase and Bottle with a Bracer. Probably going to be going for Phase Drums Yasha, which is pretty much the standard build, unless, well, you know this guy better than me, so do you think anything different's going to be coming out from him?
I don't know. I'm actually a stand-in, so I guess he's just gonna surprise me. But I would expect a somewhat standard build. I don't see him going anything else in this game.
Take a look at
maybe an early BKB for all the damage over time they have.
Yeah, the spell uses, as we said, the BKB timings are going to be really important for them. Going to take a look at some of the other builds that we've got going on right now, really quickly to gloss over. And one thing that stands out, of course, is Demon picking himself up a Hand of Midas. Could be his downfall, though, as he's going to get stunned up with a concussive shot. A Fisher flies out, stuns him further, and he will go down to the Arcane Bolt. One last auto attack, though, will secure that. And Footsay finding himself a kill onto the Venomancer. Demon
There's a smoke going on bottom
Oh,
on
there
PA.
is. Yep. Snaking goes in, pops the chrono, doesn't disable the blur, and well, one magic missile and he should go down. So Snaking still getting the kill, the rotation on point, and now they're going to look to try to get another tier 1 tower for their troubles.
It was a very good rotation because as soon as they saw that top was getting ganked, they immediately TP'd bottom and smoked to get a counter kill, which is really, really good. Radiant side could defend this tower with Ravage because they know that that Prophet has no ult, I guess. Yeah, she's gonna have it soon.
Yeah, and KVH and DOTA2, it looks like they're trying to position themselves for a good attempt onto Yawara's life, but Yawara is hanging really far back. Now, the rest of his team making their way towards the mid lane, or maybe not, I guess. Bottom tier 2 will take some harass, and it's actually taking a lot of damage right now. The Vengeance Aura has been skilled up, so a little bit of extra oomph, and they need to defend this one. They can't let a tier 2 go down this early, so it looks like they're rotating their heroes down. We'll see what they do to make use of this.
I can't see them not defending this with Ravage. There we go.
Yep. Fisher goes out. JW stunned up. Ancient Seal goes out. And Futse will secure the kill onto JW. Gets himself away at 59 HP, taken down to the damage over time, but Poison Sting not enough to bring him down and get a return. The score is 3-4 at 9 minutes. Looking at the graphs and guess, they have themselves a fairly substantial lead for a sub 10-minute game, about 4K gold, 2K experience, but nothing too major. And it really is. It goes to show those early kills on Snaking are really paying themselves off. This player, obviously showing himself a lot in the pro scene and playing for this team. Now I can't tell if he's a stand-in or a regular player, as I'm not 100% on their roster. But
from what I've heard, he's actually playing for this team for now. So they're like trying to build something up.
Well, I gotta respect the grassroots effort that they're going with this one. So I don't know. We're gonna see Guess group themselves up behind their mid-tier 1 tower though, and nothing really gonna come out of that.
This Faces Void actually has so much gold. He's like on top of all the Radiant team.
Yeah, he has his Mask of Madness. It's 10 minutes with Mask of Madness treads. That Quelling Blade gonna help him jungle up a lot, and yeah, I imagine he's gonna be doing big things in this game.
Tower's getting beat down.
DOTA2 will start to pick up that, or will actually grab that Trez, his next item. Again, standard would be something like a Yasha, but you could go in multiple directions with that, and one of the more popular ones has been Desolator or Blink. Less so, I guess, the Blink, but still some pretty good item progression coming out. His net worth is above the Faceless Void, but behind the Midas Venomancer, who is still farming up 1,400 gold. You think he's going to go for the Rush Aghanims this game?
Since he's saving gold like that, maybe he's going for a quick blink and then Ags. But it's still possible that he goes straight up Aghanims and he's just not buying it yet.
Yeah, I forgot about the Blink Dagger. One of the more popular items nowadays for the Venomancer. Pretty good on positioning, so it is a very good item to pair with his ultimate.
He just bought something, so I would assume it's Nags coming.
Booster. Yep.
Oh yeah?
Right.
Okay.
So it will be the Rushed Aghanim Scepter. Not too bad of an option. That is a huge amount of damage increase that it will end up doing. 470 in a lot of trouble. They're going to Chronosphere him straight in the trees. Support's coming in. If he can get that Ravage off, then things might turn around. Snaking in a little bit of trouble. Mask of Madness, but he gets himself out. A Shiver Ravage to fly out from 470. And everyone will get away from this one alive, but the tower might not be so lucky. And Exorcism Pop, DOTA2, going to TP himself in. A Magic Missile get blocked out by the Refraction Shield. And now they chase. Do they have any Psionic Traps to cover this chase? They do, but they're not going to pop them just yet. They're happy to defend the tower. JW might be in a little bit of trouble. Do they have a stun? They don't. KVH actually misses his Enchant Totem, and well, that means that JW gets himself away. Meanwhile, the top tier 2 tower is suffering a lot of damage from these Plague Wards alone, and well, Demon is laughing from behind as there is really nothing they can do about him just yet.
Yeah, they don't have like very good heroes to kill those wards. And they need maybe the TA, but the TA cannot just stand in Venomancer lane. She needs to do stuff at this point in the game if she wants to snowball. Yeah,
she is going to be going for the Yasha, by the way. She's picked up the Band of Elven Skin. So, again, some pretty standard stuff coming out, but being 1-0, you're right, there has to be some snowball effect that needs to come out right now, and I don't quite see him doing as much as he needs to be doing. Compare that to Snake King, who's been trying his best to actively find and set up kills, and he's actually farming really quickly besides looking for that BKB with the early Ogre Club pickup. As top lane, Susie in a lot of trouble. They're going to spend the Poison Nova. He blinks himself out. Now turning onto almost is not enough. Will find a kill. Actually, KVH gets it. Looking for the deny, but the miss chance from KVH will end up securing the kill for Demon. What an unfortunate mischance there.
Skyrat's still not level 6. He needs to find easy XP somewhere so they can do some combos with that. It's really important against the other team.
Looks like his easy XP might come from the top lane. Those wards will give him a lot, as well as the creeps themselves, but he needs someone to help him clear out this wave. Just going to pull it under tower. Yeah, this should be his level 6, if not first creep of the next wave, and that'll help him, but you're right. That ultimate needs to come out as soon as possible, and this Boreal lineup needs to do something. We talked about their lineup being able to end the game sub 30, but it's coming into 15 minutes and doesn't look like they've even started to think about that.
It's really hard to push in all those summons like Eidolons and Venomancer wards. They keep the lane pushed really hard and they get the map control out of it. They're heading for Roche right now.
And they can take it. Exorcism will allow them to do so. They do have the Vengeful Spirit too if she wants to make her way into the pit, but hanging back, so no Vengeance or a Wave of Terror coming out to help them out. They're just going to go ahead and drop him. Now they did they de-ward? Doesn't look like it. They're going to smoke up coming out from Boreal, and the ward goes down, but Roshan falls equally as quick, and now they got to back themselves off. A beautiful Fissure to stun 3. The ward will go down quickly, and the rest is up to Snake King, but it doesn't look like he wants to chase any further. They're going to take a Roche, take the Aegis, and back themselves off. That was an exchange well taken for them.
Yeah, they got Boreal was there on time, but they hesitated a bit because they didn't have vision over there. But if they went right up with the Ravage, I think it would have been a good fight for them, especially because DP ult was almost over. Now it's going to be a rough position for when Dire decide to push 5-man with the Aegis. They're going to lose maybe 2 towers mid out of this.
And 470, he's going to find himself up a little bit of gold. This could be his Blink Dagger just sitting in creep form right now. If I can just select the hero, there we go. Yeah, he'll be getting that Blink Dagger out very soon with those Ancient creeps. And Susie, he's going to find Demon. Can he actually get a kill? The damage is nothing on him and no crits just yet. He's backing himself off, being a little bit indecisive, and that might cost him his life. They got the ward slowing him down, but JW not close enough to get the stun, the Malefice, and they will back themselves off safely and secured. Susie, though, still hanging close, at risk right now.
It seems like Boreal's hesitating a lot. I think they need someone to like maybe call more the plays, because they always hesitating, and they could have got that kill too because they were 3v1.
Oh, Dota's awful, isn't hesitating at all, gets half damage on Yawar, but backs himself off beautifully so, as there was a rotation coming out from Yawar's supporting cast, and will get himself away. Still looking at no kills since his first, but he's farming up relatively quickly. We take a quick look at his net worth, and falling way behind Demon, now behind Snake King, which is very scary, but he could end up getting that all right back if a team fight is well taken by them. So we'll have to see if they can find that.
I think a very big team fight is gonna blow up soon, because Tynantor just got his Blink Dagger, and Dire is gonna want to push with the Aegis. So they're gonna take a fight, and I think whoever wins that fight will be in a good position to win the game.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of golden XP on the line from that one fight. If you can imagine just the amount they would get from that. So yeah, I definitely think you're right. At 17 minutes, 4-5 is an unusual score unless something big is about to happen. And we'll have to keep our eyes on the rotations as we need to figure out when that is going to be. Yawar making his way very aggressively behind Futse and Suze. Oh man, I don't think I pronounced either. That's 747. I keep calling him Suze this game. It's
you can call him Suzy, it's fine.
But Yawar is hanging by, looking for the opportunity. And an initiation by him with Yule Scepter into Exorcism could end up being good, but none of his team is close by, so it doesn't look like they want to make anything happen with that. And it just goes back to passively trying to farm up the map as JW is looking for his next item, possibly a blink for him, and everyone else just trying to finish up maybe that next as Venomancer is getting really close to Ags.
Both sides have vision on the same place, so at some point it's going to be funny because they're just going to be all looking at each other and not do anything.
The old Texas showdown.
Yeah. Venomancer has been farming all around the map for the whole game. He's got to be really rich. Yeah, he is.
He is really rich. It's 18 minutes. He pretty much has his Aghanims. He does have his Aghanims. This is crazy amount of farm coming out from him. And after that Axe, maybe a Veil of Discord, and you're looking at so much damage coming out from this little tiny yellow guy alone. It's almost unreal, and I don't see the BKBs coming out near soon enough for Boreal to be able to deal with it.
Yeah, they got 2 Yashes, but they have no HP to survive that Aghanim damage that's going to come off Venomancer. I think this is going to be such a rough team fight. They need like a perfect Ravage to win this.
Yeah, and even a perfect Ravage may not be enough. We've got a Sonic Trap coming out. Ravage will fly, but far from perfect. Catches no one. Yawar yules it out. Now Snaking will end up popping the Chronosphere. Catches Futse, and the Black Hole immediately canceled by the Fisher, but it was through the Chronosphere, so not as much as they'd want. Echo Slam to try to get the kill on the Snaking. They will get it, and that is no Aegis on Snaking. Instead, it's on Yawar, so that is a pretty good amount of gold going their way, but Tide 470 will drop to almost is never enough. And that's a 3 for 1. And the golden XP actually not as big of a swing as we thought, only about 600. But the swing is yet to happen, as the tower should be able to fall here. Their Exorcism gets blocked out by the cooldown or the end of its time, but the tier 3 should still fall with all of these Plague Wars happening down. And Demon actually in a lot of trouble. There's going to be a Mystic Flare, but the Yules to stop Futse. Demon now popping the Poison Nova, but it may be a little bit of a suicide mission as he goes down. JW to follow. Futse falls the Poison too much. And even Suze, well, actually Suze should be fine. The Poison cannot take him down. He does not have any other damage over time on him. He'll survive. But that ends up amounting to, in total, a 3 for 3, I think. So actually not a bad fight for Boreal. They didn't even lose their tier 3 tower, albeit it took a ton of damage.
They got rid of the Aegis too, which is good. I thought it would be much worse than that when I saw the Ravage. It hit no one because of the Yules and BKB. Dire was definitely ready for that. They spread out perfectly, basically.
Yeah, and it comes down to whether or not that this Ravage should be used for initiations rather than counter initiations at this point, because if the reaction times are that good on Snaking and on Yawar, then maybe they should think twice about using anything but a point-blank Ravage. As JW finds 470, but he blinks himself away. Will it be enough? Chronosphere is online. Fisher comes out, but it's not going to be enough to stop the BKB Snaking. He's trying to walk away, but I don't know. There's too many heroes here. Snaking ends up popping a BKB for this one. Now Demon in a little bit of trouble. Mystic Flare, though, not doing enough damage as the extended time will help him out. Fisher will block Snaking. He does have a Time Walk. Will go right onto Dota's Awful. Now he spends his Chronosphere. Dota's Awful ends up dropping Futse soon to follow, and that ends up being a 3-4-0. Guess after a questionable team fight, end up taking a stomping team fight, and they will put themselves in a prime position to maybe get themselves a racks off of this one as Exorcism back online and ready to go.
Yeah, we were talking a lot about Radiant ending the game soon, but it seems like Dire's gonna do it. They're in really good position to take Rex right now. There's gonna be a Ravage, but I don't think they got enough things to follow up that it's gonna matter.
Yeah, Yawar going for the low-hanging fruit. We'll find that tier 3. The Ravage, there are no BKBs. The Ravage will catch everyone, actually. Can they do anything off the back of this one? It looks like they clean up the Venomancer Demon falling, as well as an almost is never enough. A buyback onto the Earthshaker in that team fight, but everyone else will back themselves off. Yawar pretty much full HP, but the rest of his team not as lucky as that. But they will all three get themselves away, and it is again a defended base. The Ravage perfect in that regard, but it still kind of feels like a little bit too little too late. They ended up getting 1,300 gold and near 3,000 XP off of that fight, but
Yeah, it's a good way to come back, but they're gonna have to do a lot more fights like this if they want to keep in this game, because the next push with the next Death Prophet ult is gonna be on time before the Ravage, if they time this properly, and I don't think they're gonna have any answers to that.
yeah, I mean, speaking of no answers, I mean, with Venomancer approaching his level 16 pretty quickly, he has his Forest, he's got a Hand of Midas, so 200 gold. I don't think we'll be seeing anything like a Veil of Discord coming out soon, but I don't think he even needs it, as the damage we already saw in the last, I think, 2 team fights ago was pretty substantial. So if he can use that at the beginning of the team fight on all of Boreal's team instead of when the team fight's already over, then maybe we see just a complete 5-man wipe for Guess. But well, it all comes down to spell usage when it gets used in a team fight and how many people it hits, really, for both teams, as they all both rely on that damage that comes out from it.
Do you know the actual damage that Venomancer does with his ult? I don't know the exact number, but they all got about 1,000 HP on the other side, so I would assume it's not that far from it.
15 seconds with, sorry, 16 seconds at level 16, 108 damage from the Poison Nova. I think it's well over 1,000, easily well over 1,000 magic damage. So
Yeah.
I'd say about 1,600, give or take a couple hundred. And
So
with Veil of
basically everyone that gets hit by that is gonna die in the team fight.
well, that's before magic resistance, but I think, yeah, still, if you talked about 25 to 35% magic resistance, that still is enough to kill. So yeah, everyone should die to that if they all get hit by it, depending on whether or not they get any more magic damage done to them. I think a pipe is absolutely necessary on Boreal. Septic goes out into Yora, but he does get slowed up. There is a Diffusal, or sorry, a Desolator finished on Dota's Awful. They're going to pop the Exorcism. KVH drops because of it. And Dota's Awful now having to back himself off, but they will pop a Chronosphere, and Dota's Awful, well, he just gets cleaned up. That's a Shiva's Guard, by the way, finished on Yawar. We see that nice, pretty animation coming out from that. 53 on the Templar, 37 on the Earthshaker. No buyback on either one. And
That
with
was a really
Exorcism
good
still up-
positioning by Void.
Yeah. With Exorcism still up, they're going to go ahead and just put a lot of damage, if not get these racks. Exorcism actually dropping out, but the summons are there. And, well, there's no real way for Boreal to defend 3v2, so I think they just give up the racks here. They could actually give up
There
2.
goes the Radiant's mid.
They're gonna have to, and the guys are still dead, and the mid racks are down.
Yeah, Demon still has Poison Nova, Chronosphere up in 60, Exorcism 90, Black Hole available with a blink.
Radiant's bottom racks.
Oh man, 470, he's
Dire's
looking
top
for
tower.
something here,
You know the
but
drill.
his blink getting canceled from the initial attacks of these Plague Wards, and they lose their second ranged racks. Melee still standing, BKB pop from Snaking, Demon looking for something here. Can he find it? Force Staff still available, ends up getting hit. Now, Poison Nova gets spent, only onto 470, who immediately TPs out. JW looking for the Blink Malefice, but doesn't get it. And that's the disengage. This entire time, meanwhile, Susie has been split pushing the top lane. Could even maybe go a little bit further, as Demon does not have the
Dire's
Poison
top
Nova. But
tower.
there's a TP
You
coming
know
up
the drill.
from JW, and I guess smart to back himself off.
Yeah, I think this is where you see like the higher level coming into play. As soon as they think they're done, they all back up and no one dies out of it. As soon as DP ult ran out, they just backed off and like go back to farming. So they don't want to throw the game.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. They got to 1.5 racks off of it. The range racks obviously being the less important one, but the point still stands that there is not a lot of room for Boreal to make mistakes, and even if they play a perfect game, it's really the Guess's game to lose right now.
At this point, I don't think Boreal can win any team fights, so maybe what they should try to do is get some pickoffs with Ravage. It seems a bit awful to do, but I think it's the only way you get kills at this point in the game.
Delay the game, maybe get a pick into the Roche, and well, speaking of Roche, it looks like they're not even going to give the chance.
Guess
Another
what's
Aegis.
happening to
Definitely
Dire's
going to go the
bottom
way of
tower.
Boreal, as no one's in the area except for Dota's Awful to do anything about it. And he'll spot it out a second too late.
Dire's
And
bottom
that'll be
tower's
it.
getting the
They have
business.
no way to stop this Roshan. No way to steal it even. So Roche goes down, free Aegis to Guess. And
The Dire
Boreal,
best do
they're
something
struggling
about that
right now.
bottom tower.
Yeah, I think Boreal needed really badly to shut down this Void early, but they didn't shut him down, they gave him farm, so this is what's happening right now.
Giving a first blood to an off-lane Void that with a tri-lane is not something
It's a
you
very
want to be
strong
doing.
tri-lane too.
Yeah, and I mean that's going to be that has to be something that they look back on, because Guess is a team that is going to be doing really well in CEVO Season 6 right now. They're definitely going to have to go up against them in the playoffs, and they can't make mistakes like that again. JW looking like he's dead, but a swap out might secure the surviving Enigma. In fact, Demon comes in, Poison Nova goes out, only catches KVH, but it's enough. And actually it seems like a bit of a waste of a Poison Nova. It's only a 60-second cooldown, so no real trouble with that. But the rest of the cast of Boreal TP themselves out, and they're losing their Earthshaker again for another 30 seconds now, so...
I think we talk a lot about the cores in this game, but this Vengeful Spirit has been doing so much work for his team. He saved so many people with his swap.
Right, that was almost a... Oh god, Dota's awful in the mid lane.
They're just gonna use Chrono for it.
He can, that's the issue that
Yeah.
Boreal are facing is... You just saw a Poison Nova get spent for pretty much nothing, a Chronosphere gets spent on a solo Templar Assassin. They don't have to worry about their cooldowns because they know they're strong without them. And Boreal, I mean, losing a hero is pretty much losing a tower, losing a building, losing anything. As we say that, Earthshaker comes in with an Echo Slam, beautifully hit, a Ravage as well. Almost as never enough, could drop here, and he might, the stun from the Malefice into the Magic Missile secures the surviving cast again. Everyone alive, and no one except for the PA and the GGs fly out. A quick game, but a game nonetheless. Boreal definitely going to have to take a look back at this one as Guess take a pretty stompy lead in this one. They go 1-0 to secure this best of one and grab themselves their second win in CEVO Season 6, while Boreal drop 0-2.
Well, that was a good game from Guess. I guess GG to them.
GG indeed. So again, I just got to ask for any final thoughts about this game.
As I said a bit before, I think the early game was a bit messed up with for Boreal. I think that Tia was doing fine middle. She won her lane against the DP, but other than that, the other lanes were really precocious. The Tidehunter died a few times, and the Faceless Void got so much farm out of bottom lane. After that, it came off of team fight, but the Void already had like Mask of Madness and BKB, which is like really hard to deal with.
Yeah, so the game is over, and we're looking at a full schedule for the day. Our next game comes up at 8 o'clock, so we're going to take a quick, or a fairly long break before that one, but we'll be back soon with more Dota. Again, if you're looking for the ticket, by the way, guys, it is coming. We had a little bit of Valve time coming on us, but I guess some blame could be shared on both ends. I don't know how that all works. You're going to have to ask Helium about that, but tickets coming soon. I'm Chicago Ted, at TedCast on Twitter. That's Statick, at Statick Dota on Twitter. Thanks for watching, guys. More Dota will be coming up soon. Stick around.
See ya.